So I recently shared a video on the fact that taking salary doesn't make you a slave of a company, and most importantly, working for someone and taking salary doesn't mean that you are not going to achieve your dreams. Now, there were a lot of people who, had great comments under that particular video, and it had a couple of engagements. And there are some people who also came out to spew out a lot of insults and telling me that, oh, that is not the way to go. We need to empower people to start their businesses and be their own boss. Now, let me tell you this. Living your ideal life is not about being your own boss. It is important you understand financial intelligence in order for you to become successful, so you don't carry a lot of burden and failure and resentment in you. But what I want you to understand is that living life on your own terms is about transitioning from active income earning to a passive income earning. Listen to me carefully. Living your ideal life, living life on your own terms, buying things without thinking about it, living the life that you have always wanted is about transitioning from earning active income to earning passive income. What does that mean? It means being able to then transition from working for money to letting money work for you. And that is the most important thing that you need to understand, because we have a lot of people who are like, Nhyira, I want to start my own business, and they just want to be self-employed. Listen, there's a difference between self-employment and being an entrepreneur. If your business cannot exist, cannot run, cannot operate without you there, it means you are self-employed. But if your business can run, money can still flow in without you being there, then you are an entrepreneur and you have people, you have systems in place that take care of you. So what I want you to understand is this. I am not against the fact that people should not start their business. I am not discouraging and promoting an agenda that, hey, work for people, work for people. Let me ask you, if you start your business today, do you think you will be the only person to build? No, you will need people to work for you. So are you saying they are also slaves? Are you saying they are stupid? Are you saying they shouldn't pursue their goals? Are you saying because they are working for your business, growing your dreams, they are fools and you are wise? You see, when you are talking and you are making certain statements, you need to understand the impulse of the statement that you are making. So it is not about working for yourself. It is not about being your own boss. It is about transitioning from earned income into passive income. So I want to say this and say it again. Working for somebody, taking a salary doesn't make you a slave. Working for somebody, taking a salary does not mean that you will forgo your dream or that it is a drug given to you so you forget your dream. Look at all the companies in Ghana. Look at all the big companies in South Africa. Look at all the big companies in Nigeria. Look at all the big companies across the continent of Africa. Check their CEOs, check their CFOs, COOs, accountants, HR. Check all of them. They are all employees and they have huge amounts of salaries coming in. The problem is that many people think that they can just become successful overnight. It is a journey. So I want to share with you in this podcast today a couple of things that you have to really understand to help you transition from becoming an earned income person into a passive income person, and the mindset that you need to develop, and the myth about this whole discussion of people receiving salary and forgetting about their dream. Number one, whoever you want to be right now has been working on themselves for at least 10 years. The problem with this generation, the problem with the youth of today is that they want to become successful overnight. You meet a young person who has just completed the university, and this person wants to drive a 150,000 Ghana cedis, 200,000 Ghana cedis vehicle, want to live in a 5-star community when they have not done anything to earn that. Whoever you want to be like has been in the game. Your mentor, your idol, your role model, everyone that you are looking up to, they have been in the game for the last 10 years. So what you see them doing today, the car you see them drive, the clothing you see them wear, the posture that you see them having, the lifestyle that you see them living did not start yesterday. They have been in the game. 99.9% of the people that you look up to have been in the game for more than 10 years. And you have just finished the university and you think that you can become like that? No. You have to be patient. We live in a society where people are no longer patient. And so when you tell people, be diligent in your work, let integrity lead you, be hardworking, wherever you are at, irrespective of the salary you are making right now, give your best to the company. Help the company to grow, because when this company grows, you will also become successful. They think that you are telling them to be slaves. No, you are not a slave. You just finished the university. You don't have anything. You don't know anything. You've not seen anything. How do you expect the company to fund a certain lifestyle that you have been having? You have to be patient because it will take time. That is what you need to understand. Nobody is slaving you. If you're an employee of a company, you are not a slave. The second thing that I want you to understand is that our system here in Africa is different from the system in America, in Europe, and part of Asia. These days, you will see on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, 23-year-old, 19-year-old, they are millionaires, they are billionaires. They are driving luxurious cars, taking luxurious vacations, living in plush mansions, 10 million, 20 million, $5 million. And then people get that and they are like, oh, look at him. He's 23 years old. He's 19 years old. Or he's less than 30. Look at the luxurious life that he's living. Why can't I also live that style, that life? Listen, our system here in Africa is different. You see, 99.9% of the 23-year-old, 19-year-old you see driving those luxurious cars, living in those luxurious houses, did not take the $10 million, $500,000, $200,000 to buy those things. No, they don't have that money. They don't have that money there. They don't have the money to buy those things. You see, you have to understand that you don't just take everything you see on social media on face value. You have to dig deeper to really understand exactly what is going on. In Europe, America, part of Asia, people use credit and debt. So that 19-year-old driving the Lamborghini, driving the Ferrari, driving the Rolls Royce, that 23-year-old living in a $10 million house, did not buy that house. They don't have that money, but they use credit, they use debt because the system there is favorable like that. So you want to buy a car? Why not? Buy the car. Depending on your credit score, depending on the economy, depending on whatever you are doing, you'll be able to get a luxurious car and pay monthly, maybe $500, $700, $1,000, $2,000, depending on the type of car, $10,000 every month. So what you see on social media for those 23-year-old, 19-year-old, 30 years old, driving those luxurious cars, living in those luxurious mansions that you also wish to do in this part of the world, Africa, will kill you. And that is what you need to understand. Because, you know, the reason why I'm really passionate about this and I want to really drive this thing home is that a lot of people are in hurry to live a certain life that they don't qualify to live. A lot of people have dreams that have to take time to be nurtured. You just finished university, 25 years old, and you want to drive a 200,000 Ghana city vehicle? Are you sick? What's wrong with you? I'm not saying don't have a dream. I'm not saying don't have an aspiration. I am saying that that dream, that aspiration must be funded with a strategy, with a goal, with a purpose. But our system here in Africa cannot make it to be easily funded like that. So when you see something on social media, you see a small boy, you see a small girl living a certain life, they are in Europe, they are in America, they are in part of Asia. Africa here, it's a different environment. It's hard to get credit. It's hard to get debt. It's hard to get a car loan, a mortgage here in Africa because of our mindset, because of our way of life. We live in a country, for instance, Ghana here. There are people who take mobile money loan and they won't pay. They will throw the SIM card away. Or they will take the mobile money loan and they won't pay. And you ask them and they're like, oh, this telecommunication firm has been collecting my money all this year. Me, I don't have any money to pay. That is the benefit I get from them. How can you build a system? How can you build a nation with these mindsets? So I want you to understand that it's going to take time. You have to be patient. It's going to take time. And what you see on social media, yes, let it inspire you, but be patient. Don't rush. Don't be in a hurry. You just finished university. Take your time. It's a process. Okay? It's a process. Rome was not built in a day. You will not become successful overnight. It will take time. And our system here doesn't support us that way. And that leads me to the third thing that I want to share with you. It is easier to be an entrepreneur in America, Asia, Europe than in Africa. It's easier because the system in Europe, America, part of Asia is more flexible. There are a lot of venture capital firms. There are a lot of angel investors. There are a lot of individuals and companies who are willing to give seed funding loans at concessory rate to people to start their business. And so when people have ideas and they can prove the idea is okay, boom, somebody will just throw some money at them and they run with it. And that is why you see a lot of young people becoming billionaires and building a lot of businesses. Why? Because of the system there to support entrepreneurs. So there are famous stories like Sam Bankman-Fried, the co-founder of Alameda and the CEO of FTS, the crypto exchange, who has been charged and currently under house arrest and being prosecuted for fraudulent activities. This is just a 31-year-old guy from university and then boom, started a company, had a good family, and so got the support, got the necessary funding that is necessary, and then boom, built a business. And that business has now turned out into something else that was not there. The same thing happened to a young lady called Elizabeth Holmes. She, brought up something revolutionary to be able to treat certain ailments and do certain tests. And Wall Street was crazy about it. And they threw money at her only for them to realize later on that, no, it's all fraud. And she's currently in jail on 4 counts of fraud. So the system in Europe, the system in America, the system in part of Asia is favorable for entrepreneurs. You can flourish, you can grow. In our part of the world, it's not like that. If you want money for a business here in Ghana, it's difficult because even if you go to the bank, the requirements that they will give you, you cannot. So take your time and understand that the system is different. The fourth thing I want you to understand is that living your dream doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur. You see, it's not about being an entrepreneur. You don't need to be an entrepreneur before you can live your dream life. You don't need to be your own boss to live your dream life. Like I said, you need to move from earned income to passive income. So you are the employee of a company. Whatever amount of money you make, you have financial intelligence. So you know how much you make, you know how much you keep, then you now start investing that money. How do you invest that money? At the early stages, you need to invest majority of the money back in yourself so that you can increase your skills, increase your value in the marketplace. Because the more valuable, the higher the problem you can solve for the company, the more the company will be willing to pay you. That is the deal. So at the early stages, you need to be investing that money in yourself, improving upon your skills, honing your skills, and becoming an expert in a certain field that is in demand so that you'll be able to make more money. And as you make that money, it's not about now living a luxurious life, but then keeping most of those money and then most importantly, now investing that money. Where do you invest it? It could be shares, it could be bonds, it could be whatever, other things, real estate, but invest in it. So you don't have to be an entrepreneur to live your dream life. You don't have to be your own boss to live your dream life. If you are called for it, go for it. But you can be an employee of a company and still live your ideal life. And the last thing I want to share with you is this. You see, many people want to be entrepreneurs because of useless comparison. So like I said, they go on social media and then they see, someone is an entrepreneur. Then they look at the person, the car the person is driving, the house the person lives in, the clothing the person wears. They're like, wow, yes, this person is an entrepreneur. I want to also be that. No, We are on a different journey. Entrepreneur is an act that must be studied. And it is not everybody that is called to the field of entrepreneurship. You see, if you want to sell some gari, tomatoes, and condoms in front of your house, that's okay. That's not entrepreneurship. That's I don't know what we will call that though, but that's okay. But if you're going to build a business, you're going to employ people, you're going to build systems, it requires a certain level of mindset, attitude, and way of life. So let me circle back again. Working for somebody, taking salary, doesn't make you a slave. We have to know who we are and understand money. Because many people think when they become entrepreneurs, they will make a lot of money. Try it. I dare you. Try it. Try it. If you succeed, praise God. If you fail, praise God. But I dare you to try it. Because that is why many people think, yeah, entrepreneur, yeah, I'm my own boss. I do things on my own terms. Okay, try it. And you will know that it is not easy. So not everybody would have to be an entrepreneur. Know yourself. Transition yourself from earned income to passive income. You can be working for somebody. You can be working in a company. The money you make from there, you invest it. Becoming an investor is the best thing to do. It's the best thing for most people. Being an investor. So you receive the money and then boom, you invest it into something else. That is how you live life on your own terms. That's how you can take vacations and not think about it. That is how you can take care of your loved ones and provide the best for them. And that is how you can have peace of mind. It's not necessarily about being an entrepreneur. It's about transitioning from earned income to passive income. If your passive income can pay for your lifestyle without needing job, then you become wealthy and you become successful. So it is not about being an entrepreneur. It's about earning passive income. It's about transitioning from an employee to an investor. And that is how you become wealthy and become successful. Thank you for watching. And let me hear from you in the comment section. What do you think about this subject? Let's expand the discussion in the comment section. But also let me know what topics you would want me to cover on the podcast and other things you would want me to share my thoughts on. And I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to share and also subscribe to the channel.